Will the day of the Linux desktop ever come to the average user? No. And that's a good thing. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to gatekeep Linux, if that's what people say. But what I am trying to say is whenever the masses pick up on something and start using something, or really with anything, like TV shows or bits of software or types of hardware or anything, it more often than not becomes awful. It becomes crap. Let me try to think of some examples. Any popular TV show, when it first came out, had a small following, was pretty good. Then as the seasons progressed, it became more and more mundane and more crap. Same thing that goes with operating systems. Windows 3, all the way up to Windows XP. I'm just about old enough to remember Windows XP. Pretty good, pretty nice. Windows Vista came out. I didn't actually mind. Can we talk about that for a second, and how people always talk down upon Windows Vista? I enjoyed Windows Vista. I had it on this little Toshiba laptop with 4 gigs of RAM and an Intel Core 2 Duo or something. It worked fine. For then, I didn't do much on it. I didn't do any web browsing. I didn't know how to do that. Just played Age of Mythology. That was pretty good. I didn't see what everyone's moaning about. But then Windows 7 came along. Windows 7 is my favourite Windows operating system. And then Windows 8 and then Windows 8.1, which is you get what I'm coming from. Windows 7 was the last good Microsoft operating system. And I think that's for a few reasons, but I think one of the reasons is the mass adoption of Windows. Now, many people, many organizations were already using Windows by the time Windows 7 came out, and I think Windows 8, 8.1 and Windows 10 really solidified the way Microsoft was going. That they knew they could do no wrong. They knew people would always use their operating system no matter what. And I think Windows 7 was the cutoff point for that. I think that was the cutoff point for people thinking, hey, this is getting a bit crap, we may as well migrate to some other place like MacOS or the Linux. And I think the same thing goes with macOS. I mean, I don't get you Apple fanboys. People who follow Apple religiously buy their products. I don't understand. I mean, yeah, their hardware is pretty nice, like really good craftsmanship. And the MacBooks they're milled out of a solid block of aluminium. That's pretty impressive and expensive. More expensive to do than just plugging it together with some plastic. But they've ran into the same issue of now they think they can do no wrong. I mean, look at their iPhone lineup. iPhone 6 to iPhone 13. I mean, I can't tell the difference. Can you tell the difference? I can't. Other than the cameras. I mean, yeah, they must provide something to the user. Otherwise people... Well, you would assume people wouldn't buy it, but I mean, can you provide me the difference between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13 that would make you want to spend $1,000 on a new phone? I mean, I can't think of any reasons. Now let's get back at the question at hand, which is, should Linux go mainstream? Should it or will it? I think they're two different questions. Should it go mainstream? I think it would be beneficial if it did go mainstream. I think more people would be able to think for themselves if it went mainstream. Obviously, being able to use Linux doesn't provide you with the ability to think for yourself, but I think it sets you on a path for that. There was this really good video the Mental Outlaw did, must have been a year ago now, where he talks about how if you keep stopping trying to do something because it's difficult, you find it difficult, you're not going to get any better at trying to solve things you can't do. You know, if you encounter a problem in Linux and you just throw your hands up and go, "Oi, no idea how to do that," and you boot up your Linux Mint and it boots up to a TTY, or you try and open a program and it's not there, it comes up with some fetch errors, Pop OS, you piece of shit. And you just throw your hands up in the air and go, right, that's it, I'm done. You're not going to get any better at solving problems and other things. You're going to get worse. The brain is a very curious thing in which it morphs to the environment you give it. And if you give it the environment of anybody else can solve your problem, you're not going to learn how to solve it yourself. Now, where am I going with this? Or where am I going literally? I mean, it's fields upon fields over here. Jeez. Where am I going with this? People will always take the easier routes, no matter what it is. And that's partly evolutionary, and also partly the society that we live in today. Society encourages taking the easiest path. For example, feel-good chemical. Dopamine. What's the best way to get dopamine in today's world? It's not to accomplish something. It's not to figure out a solution to a problem. No. It's to make an Instagram account, make a Facebook account, make a Snapchat, Twitter account. Post something on there. Get loads of likes, loads of upvotes, whatever. There's your dopamine right there. And it's so easy. We've almost, in the modern world, we've almost hijacked the reward system in the human brain. And like I said before, the human brain adapts to the situation, to the environment you give it. So if you put it into the environment of where the reward system of dopamine can be gained so easily, you're going to become a slob. You're not going to learn how to solve problems. You're not going to want to learn how to solve problems. You're not going to want to gain new skills which could benefit you in the long term. Yes, it may be painful in the short term, but in the long term, you'll be way better off. Linux. You learn Linux. I know it's an overused term almost, how do I learn Linux? But if you learn Linux, it could benefit you massively in the long run. You could gain a whole different avenue of job opportunities, just to name a few. It gives you the skills to navigate menus, it gives you the skills to understand new concepts quickly, and a wide variety of different concepts, different ways to accomplish the same thing. But putting yourself through the pain of learning that type of stuff also benefits you in other places. It makes it so you can... I forgot what I was going to say now. It makes it so you can push yourself further in different areas of life. It may sound a bit stupid. It may sound like I'm just rambling, but I mean, that's partly true. But if you really push yourself in something, you're gonna make yourself get to that goal that you're going towards. You're gonna do that in other areas as well. And that's why I think Linux isn't... I think Linux is more of a learning exercise than a daily operating system. Now, I use Linux as a daily driver. I enjoy it very much. It does everything I need it to do. But I don't do that much on the computer. I go on the web browser. I might play a game or two. I've been playing some Minecraft recently. It works fine for that. But I also use my Linux daily driver as a learning platform. I want to learn about Linux. Maybe not just... I like Linux and I like computers. And I think learning about Linux, obviously you'll gain some skills in Linux, but it'll also it'll make you want to push further in other areas. So if you're stuck in a job, or you're stuck in if you're not too sure about a certain topic in education, doing anything but really pushing yourself to do it right, I think will affect other areas as well. It just goes back to the brain. Brain's a big pile of mush. You give it an environment, it will morph into that environment. And I think completing something that is really difficult to start with, it really does give you that sense of accomplishment. That sense of you did something right. For the past couple of months, I finished my education. because I'm 18 now, and I didn't have a direct path to move on to. But experimenting with Linux has really made me want to push myself in other areas as well, and to try and further myself, not just within Linux, but with other things that I'm interested in, and other things that I want to do. You know, you've always got those ideas of what you want to be when you're older, or what you aspire to be promoted to. Just push yourself. And I think Linux is a really good learning exercise to do that. I think that's what Linux is really good for, as a learning exercise. So, to address the question directly, will the day of the Linux desktop ever come? No, it won't, because people take the easiest route. That's the answer. People aren't going to go out of their way to install an operating system first of all, and then learn how to use it. I mean, God, people don't even know how to install Windows 10. It's just a bunch of buttons. Click, 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 wait a bit, there you go. People don't even know how to do that. So, yeah, that's about it for this video. I don't really know what the accomplishment was for this video, but there you go. I didn't actually know what else to do. I'll have to do a Linux video sometime. I know what to do it on. I have found this new Linux distribution I think will be quite interesting, so I'll definitely make sure to get on that and see if I can upload a video in the next day or two. I like to get daily uploads, or at least bi-daily uploads. But I haven't uploaded in the past 2 days. I've just been stuck for ideas. So, for the 20 people currently who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, thank you very much. We're getting quite a few views on that Manjaro video. I think it's at 700 views now, 600. I mean, I couldn't imagine 5 people watching my videos, never mind 700. So thank you very much for that. I'm not going to make this into its own video with stuff like that. I think that's kind of cringe. But yeah, nice field. Look at that. Nice field. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll make sure to upload something else in the near future. Have a good one. I will see you soon.